What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Neezy here. I want to say real quick, thank you for taking time out of your day to watch my video. And if you like what you see here, you want to see more, feel free to like, comment, subscribe for more videos. Can't do it without you guys, so thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy what you're about to see. With that being said, let's get into the video. Hey, it's me again. First of all, I want to say real quick, thank you guys for watching my Spiral from the Book of Saw review. It was amazing. I was so passionate about doing that review. I just loved the movie so much, even though some people were like, it was kind of shit. But that's the wonder of the internet. Everyone can have different opinions. You can like it or you cannot like it. That's okay. There's no like right or wrong ways about it. I'm just saying, as a Saw fan myself, while there were flaws in the movie, while some things in the movie were predictable, I had a good time with it, and I just want to say thank you for watching my video, just, kicking it with me, and just enjoying it, responding, and yeah. So with that being said, I just thought to myself, you know what, let's just do a quick ranking of all the Saw movies real quick, because they're all out right now. If you haven't seen Spiral yet, you can see it in the theaters, or not, if it's not your cup of tea, but I'm just saying, like, if you haven't seen it, here is my rather quick video on where Spiral ranks among all the other Saw movies. So let's just get into it real quick. I'm not going to go frame by frame on each plot detail of every Saw movie. I'm just going to give you my quick, like, okay, here's the worst, here's the best of the Saw movies in the franchise. Here's the worst one. Coming at number 9 on the Saw ranking list is actually Saw 7. Now, Saw the Final Chapter. I remember seeing the movie. The movie is just, it was the quote-unquote final movie in the franchise and shit. You kind of tell when you saw that movie was like, okay, shit's going downhill. The production is quality. It's so trash. The traps are kind of just like real lazy. I remember the opening trap for that movie. It was the two dudes and the chick, and they got like this buzzsaw and shit, and they got to go between each other, like, okay, he goes one way or he goes the other way, and one of them got to kill the other, or they could just go in the middle and she just died. Quick, easy answer, like they in the movie. The bitch, you're dead. I literally saw that. I was like, if me and my brother or me and my best friend, if it was you or your best friend, if it was just random chick or whatever who you just dated for like 2.5 minutes, bitch, you're dead. Yeah, so with that being said, easily, just the way that all went down, the way the movie just kind of wrapped up, the way the movie was shot, executed, the traps, Saw 7 is easily the worst of the Saw movies, the final chapter. Now, coming to number 8 for me, I'm going to say is actually next step up. It's actually going to be Saw 4. That's the movie with the black dude, Riggs, and everything like that. That movie is kind of like I said, there's so many of these Saw movies, and it's just like, okay, which ones are like, they kind of all feel the same, so they're kind of like all in the same running. I think Saw 4, if I remember, it dealt with the black dude, because all his friends that were on this Jigsaw case, they're all dead. They pretty much had to find the cop from Saw 3. I remember at the end of that movie, he got his head smashed by the ice cubes. That was like, oh, well, that's something. I mean, he's very dead. Yeah, but I just remember like the traps in that movie and the story. That I feel like Saw 4 is when the story started to get like real convoluted shit, where it just felt like you had to watch the other Saw movies. It just felt like homework. I can't really think of any like good aspects of that movie. That's why it's on the low totem pole of the Saw movie. So let's get to some better ones. Not really better ones, but like the next step up. Number 7 for me is actually going to be Saw 2, actually, the sequel of the Saw movies. The reason why it's so low on the totem pole is it's not like a bad movie, but I say it's a dated movie. Because when the movie came back, I think it was 2005 or whatever, so it was like, okay, the sequel to the Saw movies, when the Saw movies were this kind of pure thing, like, oh, this is cool, it just might be something. But it's like watching it back, it was kind of like the same thing at the Paranormal Activity movies, where it's like, okay, the first 2 Paranormal Activity movies, they were pretty good, they're pretty decent. But then it's like so many more come out and it make you be like, were the first 2 actually good? Maybe not. I feel like the traps in that movie and the story is okay, but the traps, because it's Saw traps, it's just all about the traps in that movie were kind of just like, okay, when you look back, they're not as like extravagant or whatever. They still had that purity, and I like that. That's why it's not the worst, but there are other better Saw movies ahead of this one. Number 6 for me this time is the first Saw movie, the very first one, that kicked it all off. Again, it's not a bad movie. I feel it's the movie that started it all. It's the movie that I'm like, okay, if no one's ever seen Saw, you just like, okay, watch the first one and you'll understand it. And I feel like it does capture that, but I also feel like there are 2 other movies on this list that kind of do the first movie better, because the first movie came out in 2004, it's 2021, so it's kind of like, again, dated. You gotta keep that in mind. These movies haven't aged good or well. So I feel like there are 2 other movies that are like, okay, if you want to like the gist of the Saw movies and shit, though, there are 2 other movies that do it better. And that's why Saw, the first one, is number 6 on this list. So let's get into the top 5 best Saw movies. Here we go. Coming number 5, the most recent one actually, is Spiral from the Book of Saw. This movie, like I said, it's like a reimagining of like the spirit of the original Saw movies. Take the basic idea of, cop trying to figure out this new copycat Jigsaw killer and shit like that, who's doing it like that. It pretty much follows the formula of the later Saw movies, where it's like, okay, you got this cop trying to figure out who is doing the Jigsaw killings, who's helping Jigsaw and shit. Yeah, but it does modernize it, and I feel like it does bring new ideas to the franchise, fresh new traps, and I know, it's kind of predictable. Like, if you know the Saw movies, then you know who the killer is. Kind of obvious. I will say there's a point in the new Spiral movie where it's like, this person did this one thing, you're like, okay, I think it's him. And then, lo and behold, it was him. Even I called it. I was like, okay, maybe it's that person, maybe. Okay, yeah, it was that person. Shit, oh well, I know my movies. So that's why Spiral is the number 5 on the top 5 of the better Saw movies. So let's get into number 4. Here we go. Number 4 for me, the movie that is a bit better than Spiral, I'll say, is Jigsaw. I feel like this movie, like I said, it's kind of a better Spiral in a bit, because I feel like this does harken, while it in the continuity of the other Saw movies, it does feel like the better Saw, the better Spiral, because it takes the Saw idea, cop trying to figure out and shit like that, but it does put a better spin, a better twist on it. And there's a better twist in Jigsaw than there is in Spiral. That gives it a leg up. And it does have, like, okay, the traps are still simplistic and shit like that, It's not over the top bloody, so like I said, it has the same spirit of Spiral, but Jigsaw, I just feel, is the better Spiral movie. That's why they could have just did Jigsaw and that'd have been that. But Hollywood, it's like, if it's making money, they're gonna milk that shit. And number 3 for me is going to be Saw 5. This one, I remember very vividly. I like Saw 5. The way Saw 5 ended with, Hoffman getting in that box and then Strom got him and shit like that. And then his doors start caving in and he fucking died. I like that. And the traps in this movie too were actually really good too. Holy shit. It was one of those things that's like, okay, yeah, when you really look back at it all, it's like, oh, this is good shit and I like it. I feel like the top 3 Saw movies, the story is best captured in these top 3 Saw movies I'm going to break down to you, with number 3 being Saw 5. And then the other 2 other movies, well, there's only 2 movies left, so it's just like, which one's number 1? So let's get into that. Number 2 for me is going to be Saw 6. I like Saw 6. Saw 6 is like, that's like the middle ground of the story when it goes to the Jigsaw shit. I feel like it had the nice amount of good traps in the movie, stuff like that. I like the carousel and everything. I like the idea. There's a quote in this movie I remember vividly. Saw pretty much says something along the lines of, you think the living or the damn, what did he say? I'm doing this live, and I can't remember what he says. Fuck, so many Saw movies, I can't think of them all. I just know that this movie, definitely for me anyway, it's all opinions. I feel like this is one of the more memorable Saw movies. It had the nice amount of gore, nice amount of story, nice amount of good traps. It's like the perfect good balance. There's one more movie that tops that, and here it is. And coming to number 1 for me, my favorite Saw movie is definitely Saw 3. Saw 3 is definitely like, yes, it has it all. It's the perfect good story and everything like that. Doesn't get too convoluted. And I feel like it's the most self-contained of the Saw movies. Doesn't feel like, okay, you gotta watch the first, second one and shit. No, it's like you can watch Saw 3 and instantly be like, oh yeah, I totally get what's going on. Pretty much got Jigsaw, John Kramer, got this woman and everything like that. She pretty much has to keep him alive long enough for her husband to do his series of tests and everything like that, so they both can walk away free. That's like as simple as you can make it. Me saying it, simple as you can make it. Take it. The gore in this movie, like I said, this is a scene, the movie that sticks out to me the most. You know what it is if you've seen Saw 3. When she had to do that backdoor brain surgery and it's like, oh, cutting into the side of his head, shit like that, and it's all bleeding. Oh man. Yeah, watch that scene while eating some spaghetti. And the way it all wrapped up and like that, like I said, I feel like the most self-contained and the most simplistic of the Saw movies. That's why Saw 3 is my number 1 of the Saw movies. All right, there you go. That's my ranking of all the Saw movies from number 1 all the way to Spiral that just came out. I still say if you're a Saw fan, go check out Spirals in theaters right now. And thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking, commenting. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. As always, subscribe. Until next time.